You just need to put it.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call our meeting to order. Could we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Megan, will you call the roll?
Yes, Trustee Lautner,
Here.
Trustee Zora,
Here.
Trustee Council is absent, Trustee Sheehan.
Here.
Trustee Stewart,
Here.
Trustee Caputo,
Here.
President DeCipio.
Here.
A quorum is present, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. Next, we have recognition of graduating youth commissioners. Maggie?
Thank you, President DeCipio. Tonight, we are recognizing 4 of our graduating seniors from the Youth Commission. Very sad to see them go. I have had the pleasure of getting to know these extremely bright, fun, creative, and thoughtful students over the past several years. The Youth Commission meets once a month during the school year to review the village board's meeting agenda and to discuss a very wide range of local government topics, from land use planning to tree trimming contracts to local economic incentive agreements and everything in between. The following evening, the commissioners attend village board work session meetings to provide their unique perspectives on these very important local topics. They also play a key role in planning for and participating in the village's annual Community Volunteer Day. Each of these graduating seniors has been an active participant in the commission, and tonight we thank them for their service to their community and wish them well on their future endeavors. So I would now like to share some additional information from each one of them about their next steps. First is Sophia Marchuk, who has served on the Youth Commission for 3 years. Sophia will be going to Illinois State ISU to major in physical education, teacher education, under the School of Kinesiology. She's looking forward to rushing for a sorority. She will also be joining the Physical Education, Recreation Club, and the Adventure Club, where she will have the opportunity to rock climb and kayak. Sophia noted that she had the pleasure of working with CSPAR and the Community Park District and intends to continue her work with kids with special needs. She wishes to thank the village for all the great experiences that came from participating in Youth Commission meetings as well as Community Volunteer Day, and she plans to carry those experiences with her and incorporate them into her role as a teacher. Sophia is in attendance tonight, so congratulations, Sophia. Thank you for your outstanding contributions to the community. We will miss you. And if you would like to come up here and receive your certificate, thank you so much. Congratulations. Okay. Next, we have Jacob Myers, who served 5 years on the Youth Commission. Jacob recently graduated with honors from St. Ignatius College Prep. His hobbies include songwriting and playing guitar, and he has shared his passion for music by playing violin for the Chicago Youth Symphony Orchestra for the last 7 years. On Sunday mornings, you'll often find him playing violin with St. Francis Xavier Parish Music Ministry. Jacob will be attending the Jacob School of Music within Indiana University in Bloomington to study audio engineering. So let's give a hand to Jacob Myers. Next, I'd like to recognize Leah Wilson, who served 2 years with the Youth Commission. Leah would like to extend her thanks to the village board and staff. She will be attending Michigan State University in the fall, majoring in biosystems engineering with a concentration in biomedical engineering and a minor in French. Wow. At MSU, she plans to join the club swim team, the Outdoors Club, and Engineers Without Borders. Let's give a hand to Leah Wilson. And finally, Audrey Topazian, who served 3 years on the Youth Commission. We were not able to obtain some information from Audrey before tonight's meeting, but we would like to thank her for her service to the LaGrange Park Youth Commission and wish her very well on her future endeavors. So let's give a hand to Audrey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maggie. I think it behooves me to say that congratulations, Sophia, on all that you've given the village during your tenure as a youth commissioner. And I think if everybody looks at what they heard from Maggie and all of you guys, it's not just the youth commission. You guys are involved in so many things, and you're so driven. I got to thank your parents for what a wonderful job they did. So congratulations, you guys. Okay, next we have proclamation recognizing the 100-year anniversary of Phillips Flowers and Gifts. Baxter, if you would join me. Whereas the village of LaGrange Park is proud to celebrate Phillips Flowers and Gifts on the occasion of its 100th anniversary in 2023. Whereas James A. Phillip, whose love of flowers stemmed from his father, a gardener in Austria before immigrating to the United States, established the business in 1923 and opened the first store in Cicero, Illinois. Whereas Phillips Flowers and Gifts opened a second store in the 1950s in LaGrange Park, Illinois quickly became a staple within the village. Phillips Flowers quickly became a staple within the village, bringing joy and comfort to the community with its beautiful floral decorations. Whereas Phillips Flowers and Gifts now operates 6 flower shops and 2 warehouses and employs over 150 dedicated, enthusiastic staff members who maintain the attractivity merchandise stores and conduct daily deliveries in Chicago and the suburbs. Whereas Phillips Flowers and Gifts has 7 members of the Phillip family actively involved in the business, and they continue to operate under James A. Phillips' mantra, put the customer first and everything else will follow. Now therefore be it proclaimed, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and residents of the Village of LaGrange Park, issue this proclamation honoring and congratulating Phillips Flowers and Gifts on reaching this momentous milestone anniversary and wish them continued success in all that they do. All of us that have been in the village for a long time know that Phillips Flowers has been a staple in our community and a fixture for many, many, many years, since the 1950s. Baxter has done a tremendous job working with staff on any developments, and especially with the big development that he so graciously provided us with, and that's Sandy's Custard. But he has been a staple in our community, and we thank him for all he's done for the village of LaGrange Park and surrounding suburbs and providing occasional flowers and all the gifts that he has present. I want to say that your staff at the whole house here in LaGrange Park is phenomenal. You've done a great job, and we're so grateful that you're still here, Phillips. Thank you, Baxter.
Well, very flattering. Thank you so much. Oh,
Yes.
words. I was only a glint in my father's eye when he opened the LaGrange Park store in 1952. Despite a lot of disagreement with his father, who said, no, don't open a second store, you're going to ruin a good thing. But it worked out okay, and we love being here, and we're very honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Baxter. Here, this is for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is public participation.
Hello all, my name is Aiden Joyce. I come from the Office of State Representative Rashid. Our internship program is going to be encompassing to go to all villages across our district to see the local concerns of every single village in the district as well. And I just wanted to say hello and get to know all of you. I will be going to these village meetings as often as we have them, so I'd love to hear about all of your concerns. I'll be sitting right over there, writing as much as I can down about these meetings to report back to our office. And I'm sitting right there. If you ever want to have a meeting with the representative or have any questions about his office, I'll always be available. And I don't have business cards this week, but I will have them next week. So thank you, and I hope I can get a good relationship with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Aiden. Aiden, please, yes, tell the representative we have talked, and we would love to have him come to our village for lunch or dinner or something to get to know us.
Absolutely.
And you're welcome all the time, and anything you need from staff or from any board member, just ask and we'll give it to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aiden. Okay, next is consent agenda. Megan?
Thank you, Mr. President. The items on this evening's consent agenda are as follows. A, approval of minutes. 1, village board meeting, May 23rd, 2023. 2, village board work session, June 13th, 2023. 3, village board closed session meeting, June 13th, 2023. B, action, accounts payable and payroll summary, motion 1, to authorize the president and chairperson of the finance committee to sign the register for bills, and authorize the treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in payment of operating bills and salaries as itemized in the check registers. And motion 2, to authorize the village treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in the payment of payroll and other bills that become due between this date and the next village board meeting, with subsequent approval of the payroll register and voucher register by the Board of Trustees at its next meeting.
Motion to approve a consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second? Second. Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. We'll now move on to old business. Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. First purpose is the reconsideration of ordinance 1195. The purpose to reconsider the ordinance granting variations for 333 North of Grange Road, Aldi Inc., cases 23001, 23002, 23003. General background: it has come to the attention of village staff in connection with review of recent meetings that ordinance 1195 did not receive the required number of favorable votes at the March 28, 2023 village board meeting. Section 30-20 of the municipal code states a majority of the corporate authorities shall constitute a quorum, but no ordinance shall be passed except upon a favorable vote of majority of the elected members. As is provided by statute or ordinance, the motion had 3 votes in favor and 1 against. 4 positive votes are required under section 30.20, thus the motion technically failed to pass. Staff recommendation: in order to rectify this error and ensure compliance with the municipal code, staff recommends that the village board reconsider the ordinance granting variations for 333 North of Grange Road to Aldi Inc. at tonight's meeting. A motion to reconsider the ordinance is required to pass before the board can entertain a motion to approve the ordinance. Therefore, 2 motions are requested for this agenda item. The board must first vote, after the motion is made and seconded, to reconsider the motion granting variations. Discussion on that motion is limited to whether reconsideration is appropriate. The board cannot consider the merits of the ordinance granting the variations until the board approves the motion to reconsider. Once the motion to reconsider is approved, the board can discuss the motion to approve the ordinance granting variations. Therefore, Mr. President, I make a motion to reconsider an ordinance granting variations for 333 North of Grange Road, Aldi, Inc.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Trustee Sheehan?
And thank you, Mr. President. I think at the March 28th meeting, this was gone over in great length and great detail, and staff provided every one of us that was on the board at that time with the information that we needed to vote on that. So I support this and would be voting in favor.
Thank you. Any other comments from any board members? Seeing none, Megan, will you call the roll?
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Okay.
Continuing on.
Thanks, Mr. President. Next, make a motion to approve an ordinance granting variations for 333 North of Grange Road, Aldi, Inc.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion, Trustee Sheehan?
I don't see any further discussion, Mr.
Any other
President.
comments? Seeing none, Megan, call the roll?
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan.
Okay, Mr. President. Next, we'll go to reconsideration of ordinance 1196. The purpose is to reconsider the ordinance of the Village of LaGrange Park, Cook County, Illinois, approving an economic incentive agreement with Woodmen of the World Life Insurance Society. General background has come to the attention of village staff, as previously noted, in connection with the review of recent meetings, that ordinance 1196 did not receive the required number of favorable votes at the March 28, 2023 Village Board meeting. Section 30.20 of the Municipal Code states a majority of the corporate authority shall constitute a quorum, but no ordinance shall be passed except upon a favorable vote of a majority of the elected members, as is provided by statute or ordinance. The motion had 3 votes in favor and 1 vote against. 4 positive votes are required under section 30.20. Thus, the motion technically failed to pass. Staff's recommendation, in order to rectify this error and ensure compliance with the municipal code, staff recommends that the village board reconsider the ordinance approving the economic interest agreement, incentive agreement for the redevelopment of 333 North of Grange Road at tonight's meeting. A motion to reconsider the ordinance is required to pass before the board can entertain a motion to approve the ordinance. Therefore, 2 motions are requested for this agenda item. The board must first vote after the motion is made and seconded to reconsider the motion approving an economic incentive agreement. Discussion on that motion is limited to whether reconsideration is appropriate. The board cannot consider the merits of the ordinance approving an economic incentive agreement until the board approves the motion to reconsider. Once the motion to reconsider is approved, the board can discuss the motion to approve the ordinance applying an economic incentive agreement. Therefore, Mr. President, at this time, make a motion to reconsider an ordinance of the Village of LaGrange Park, Cook County, Illinois, approving an economic incentive agreement with Woodmen of the World Life Insurance Society.
Motion and second.
Second.
Discussion, Trustee Sheehan?
I do not, Mr.
Any
President.
other comments? Seeing none, Megan, call the roll?
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zara?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan.
Next, I make a motion to adopt an ordinance of the Village of LaGrange Park, Cook County, Illinois, approving an economic incentive agreement with Woodmen of the World Life Insurance Society.
Motion and second.
Second.
Discussion?
No.
Seeing none, Megan, call the roll?
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan.
Okay. Next, Mr. President, reconsideration of consent agenda. The purpose to reconsider the consent agenda for the March 28, 2023 Village Board meeting. As previously stated, it's come to the attention of village staff in connection with review of recent meetings that the consent agenda at the March 28, 2023 Village Board meeting did not receive the required number of favorable votes. In order to meet the statutory requirements for any motion calling for the expenditure or appropriation of money, at least 4 trustees must concur on the proposition, or 3 trustees and the president. The motion to approve the consent agenda at the March 28, 2023 Village Board meeting received 3 affirmative votes from trustees. Staff's recommendation: in order to rectify this error, staff recommends the Village Board reconsider approval of the consent agenda for March 28, 2023 Village Board meeting at tonight's meeting. A motion to reconsider the consent agenda is required to pass before the board can entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Therefore, 2 motions are requested for this agenda item. The board must first vote, after the motion is made and seconded, to reconsider the motion to approve the consent agenda. Discussion on that motion is limited to whether reconsideration is appropriate. Once the motion is approved, the board can discuss the motion to approve the consent agenda from the March 28, 2023 Village Board meeting. Therefore, Mr. President, at this time, I make a motion to reconsider approval of the consent agenda from the March 28, 2023 Village Board meeting.
Second. Motion and a second. Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan.
Next, Mr. President, make a motion to approve the consent agenda from the March 28, 2023 Village Board meeting.
Second. Motion and a second. No discussion. Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. Well done, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well done, Megan, too.
Okay, next up, Village Manager's Report. Julia.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have just one item to report this evening, and that is an update regarding the recruitment for a new finance director. I am pleased to announce that the position recruitment has closed. That period has closed, and we have selected our next finance director, and it's a name that's familiar to many in this room. And our next finance director will be a previous finance director, which is Larry Knoller. And so Larry Knoller, yeah. Very good news. So Larry Knoller will be appointed at the July 25th Village Board meeting as the finance director, as well as the treasurer. And his first day with the village will be July 31st. And with that good news, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Carol, we happy, Carol?
I am so happy. Larry, if you're listening, can't wait to come back.
Thank you, Julia. Okay, Building and Zoning Committee, Administration Committee, Trustee Zora.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have 4 items to report. From May 15th through September 15th, residents and businesses are reminded to conserve water and follow the village's seasonal watering restrictions. Odd street addresses may water on odd number days, and even street addresses may water on even calendar days. Congratulations to Don Barkwell on being chosen as the village's 2023 Arbor Day honoree. Don was nominated by the neighbors in recognition of his outstanding service to the community. The tree planting ceremony was held on last Friday, June 23rd, near the intersection of Forest Road and Oak Avenue. The village is seeking 4 new members to serve on our Youth Commission. The Youth Commission began in 2002 and works alongside the other village commissions and committees to make recommendations to the village board. The Youth Commission receives the same agenda and village board packet and discusses the same issues, including land planning, economic development, police, public works, and finance. Meetings are held once a month on Monday evenings from September through June. Visit the village's website to learn more and apply by Friday, June 30th. Village offices will be closed on Tuesday, July 4th in observance of the 4th of July. Regular office hours will resume on Wednesday, July 5th at 9 a.m. And that is all I have to report for the Administration Committee.
Thank you, Trustee Zora. Moving on, Building and Zoning Committee, again, Trustee Zora.
Thank you. These are the building department activities for May of 2023. 117 building permits were issued in May compared to 106 in May of 2022. Estimated construction costs for the month were just over $1.7 million, which is approximately 50% more than compared with May 2022. Permit fees collected were just over $36,000, which is also 50% more than collected in May of 2022. 245 inspections were conducted this past May compared to 164 in May of 2022. 8 were not approved. The department completed a total of 84 plan reviews last month, with 75 approved and 9 denied. The pace of permit submittals so far this year appears to be on track with the pace of submittals at this time last year. Total of 19 new code enforcement cases were recorded last month, and the site development work for the former American Nuclear Society building is underway with construction of the detention pond and underground utilities. That is all I have to report then. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Zora. Engineering capital projects, trustee Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. President. Unique Plumbing Company started work on the Park Road water main replacement project. They began with the connection to the existing main to the northeast corner of Harding Avenue. The water main was then installed west across Harding Avenue to the sidewalk on the west side of Park Road. Placement of the new water main progressed southward along the sidewalk toward Oak Avenue. After Park Junior High School is closed for summer, the contractor will move to the section north of Ogden Avenue and install the water main in front of the school so this area is complete before school reopens. Design work started on preparing the facility plan in preparation of applying for an IEPA loan under the Water Pollution Control Loan Program. The funds will be used to help finance the Central Area Sewer Separation Project. The facility plan outlines the need for the project and documents background village information. This includes description of tributary areas, maps, flooding limits, estimated costs, discussion of alternatives, and implementation plan, and other design considerations. An approved facility plan is a requirement prior to applying for the loan. And lastly, design work has begun for the 31st Street Alley Water Main Project. An 8-inch water main will be installed between the existing stub and Murphy's Auto Service and the west side of Newberry Avenue. Plans and specifications will be prepared and a construction permit obtained from the IEPA. This is anticipated that this alley will be reconstructed next year using MWRD green infrastructure funds. And that concludes the engineering report this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, trustee Stewart. Public Safety Committee, trustee Caputo.
Yes, thank you, President DeCipio. The following items are being reported to apprise the village president and board of trustees on current police operations for the month of May 2023. The total number of crimes reported for the first 5 months of 2023 are 8% lower than last year, with 128 incidents reported this year compared to 139 in 2022. Traffic enforcement is 938 total tickets issued through May of 2023. Overall police activity is 9% higher to last year, with 1,210 total incidents reported on the month of May 2023 compared to 1,106 total incidents in the month of May 2022. Of those 210 total incidents, 86 were assisted the fire department, 291 were self-initiated building or park checks, 193 were traffic stops, and 15 were closed home checks. The police department staff took part in multiple Memorial Day celebrations throughout town and in neighboring jurisdictions. Department members attended 76.5 hours of training, along with the completion of required monthly online training and Lexipol daily training bulletins. In the month of May, officers were detained out to the Forest Road, Barnesdale Road school campuses and had a great time interacting with the school children. The police department staff assisted with the Run for the Roses, and F.H. Passion completed the remodeling of the administrative assistant of police services office. All radar units were recertified by Municipal Electronics. Don't miss out on the upcoming National Night Out event, which is taking place on Tuesday, August 1st from 6 to 9 p.m. at Memorial Park. Follow the police department's social media platforms for further details. And please follow the police department on our Facebook page at LaGrange Park Police Department, our Twitter account at LaGrange Park PD, and Instagram at LaGrange Park PD. A friendly reminder about securing one's personal property at all times. Please lock your vehicles and residence, especially during overnight hours. If you are going on vacation, please utilize the new online vacation watch portal, frontlinepss.com/LaGrange Park, or log onto the village website and access the portal under the police department page. If you do not have internet access, please feel free to fill out a vacation watch card at the police department, the hours of 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And please contact us if you have any additional questions or need any additional information. That concludes the police report. Next, I have the fire report. As requested for insertion into the village board meeting agenda pack, the following is a brief summary of the fire department activity highlights for the month of May. As usual, a more comprehensive monthly report is kept within the department for your review. EMS incidents for this month equaled 153. There have been 761 year-to-date compared to 724 year-to-date in 2022. Fire and rescue incidents this month were 45. There have been 217 year-to-date compared to 204 year-to-date in 2022. EMS staffing was provided for the Run for the Roses on Mother's Day. Training was conducted at Plymouth Place during the month for our firefighters and firefighters from Grange. Some time was spent on the building design, fire protection systems, and tactical considerations for fires at the main building, along with a familiarization, walkthrough, and review of design and building construction types being used in the new construction. Personnel conducted hands-on training with new self-contained breathing apparatus. With our new self-contained breathing apparatus. The staff also volunteered for a fire truck ride to school event, taking children to Ogden School. Personnel also attended the end of the year party for Ready Teddy preschool. Fire and EMS personnel were recognized for EMS week and attended BBQs and attended the barbecues at local hospitals. New plaques were installed at each station to memorialize line of duty death of Fire Chief Tullis. Staff participated in the MABUS 10 Hazmat Response Team incident drill in Clarendon Hills, and personnel assisted with Memorial Day weekend event that took place at Memorial Park. Personnel began using the Village Market South building for training. Incidents to note: on Tuesday, May the 9th, at 3:31 p.m., the fire department responded to an automatic fire alarm at 1639 Forest, and upon arrival found a cooking fire had occurred in a second-floor apartment and spread to the cabinets above. Fortunately, the alarm also alerted residents to the fire, and they were able to extinguish it prior to our arrival. And then on Sunday, May 28th at 8:28 a.m., the fire department responded to a home on Oak Avenue where an elderly man suffered a fall in a bathroom and ended up injured against the bathroom door. The fire department personnel removed a portion of the bathroom window to gain entry in order to safely treat the patient. And that concludes the fire report.
Thank you, Trustee Caputo. Public Works Committee, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Works report from me. Staff replaced 2 lead service lines with copper pipe this month, along with the repair of 1 water main break. A new fire hydrant was installed and a hydrant modification kit was installed due to a car accident. The village brush collection program began in May and was conducted the first full week of the month. Brush collection will continue each month through October. The resident mulch program also began in May. Nearly 300 loads of mulch were delivered to residents who requested the service at no charge to them. Tree removals and survey work were performed this month and will continue throughout the summer. 3 staff members attended the competent person training conducted by IRMA. The week of May 22nd was National Public Works Week. Staff attended the APWA Rodeo in Wheaton, which was comprised of educational classes, competition, and vendors displaying new equipment and products. Street patching and parkway restorations were completed from utility excavations. GIS work has continued collecting data on village-owned assets, along with continued training throughout the village. Water meters were read in Section 2. 15 monthly bacterial water samples were taken. Various water and sewer work orders were completed, along with resident tree concerns and general construction inquiries. Routine maintenance of the department's fleet and equipment was performed, as well as on police and fire vehicles. Next, Mr. President, have fiscal year 23 patching program and sidewalk replacement engineering agreement. The purpose is to approve an engineering agreement with Hancock Engineering for the 2023 pavement patching and sidewalk program. General background: on a yearly basis, staff budgets money in the MFT fund to patch certain roads of the village to improve the overall condition. Excuse me. This year, staff agreed to focus our patching program on several of our concrete roads within the community, which include the following: the 5 and 600 blocks of Spring, 5 and 600 blocks of Stone, 5 and 600 blocks of Wayola, Oak from Spring to Brainerd, and Beach from 31st to Oak. Concrete roads by nature have greater longevity, but still need attention every once in a while. The last time these roads had substantial work performed on them was 2012. Beach only has a few areas to patch to get this road back to almost perfect condition. Also included in this agreement is our annual sidewalk replacement program. In this fiscal year, the village budgeted $44,000 for the Public Works Professional Service 100-70-51000, which includes both projects. Staff recommends the village board approve the engineering agreement with Hancock Engineering in the amount of $9,900 at tonight's meeting. Therefore, Mr. President, make a motion to approve and authorize the village manager to execute agreements between the Village of LaGrange Park and Edwin Hancock Engineering for design and construction engineering services in the amount of $9,900 for the 2023 MFT pavement patching and sidewalk program.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion. Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, Hancock has served us well for many years. The work noted will go a long way in keeping those roads in good condition for many years to come and keep them safe for our residents.
Any other comments? Mark, any comments?
No, there's pretty straightforward paperwork that has to be submitted to IAP to be able to use your MFP funds.
Okay, great. Thank you. Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan.
Okay, Mr. President, one last thing. The Harrison and Morgan Street resurfacing, Edwin Hancock Engineering Agreement. Purpose is to approve an engineering service agreement with Edwin Hancock Engineering Company for design and construction engineering services for the upcoming street resurfacing program. General background: of 14 and 1500 blocks of Harrison and Morgan were identified by our paver software as in dire need of repaving. This project is included in the village's 5-year paving program. To begin the process for constructability this upcoming season, an engineering agreement must be passed by the village board. In the current fiscal year, budgeted $65,000 is allocated at MFT fund for the service. 270-70-51000, engineering, Morgan, Harrison, 29th to 26th. Staff recommends the village board approve an agreement with Edward Hancock Engineering Company in the amount of $65,000 at tonight's meeting. Therefore, Mr. President, make a motion to approve and authorize the village manager to execute agreements between the Village of LaGrange Park and Edwin Hancock Engineering for design and construction engineering services in the amount of $65,000 for the Harrison and Morgan resurfacing project.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion. Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. I drove past there. Those blocks definitely are in need of attention. It's budgeted. I think of the condition of the roads that have come, improved since 2013, 2014.
Right.
Pretty proud of how the roads are now. So I would support this, and again, previously stated, Hancock has served us well.
Great. Any comments from the board? Mark, any comments?
The goal would be to complete this, have this out to bid in August, so we can complete it this fall.
I'm sorry.
The goal would be to complete this work by August, have bids by August, and complete it this fall.
Great.
Before the kids go back to school?
Right around that time.
Okay.
Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan.
That's all I have for Public Works, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Moving on to Finance Committee, Trustee Lautner.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening's finance report is after 1 month into the fiscal year 2023-2024. During May, the village received $661,000 or 5.8% of its budgeted general fund revenue. This amount reflects a decrease of $268,700 from the $930,000 that we had received in the comparable period last year. The specific areas of significant negative variance are in the intergovernmental, charges for services, and other local taxes categories. The village received no property tax receipts during the month and is therefore, that's equal to the amount that we received in the prior fiscal year. It's anticipated that the county will be issuing tax bills and making remittances this year to taxing bodies on a timely basis, hopefully, resulting in a much more predictable cash stream than in the recent past. Property taxes with a budget of $3.9 million for fiscal year 23-24 remains the single largest source of our funds for the general fund, accounting for 34.2% of the total. Other local taxes decreased by $49,400, with the negative variance the result of the timing of a franchise fee payment. A payment of $41,500 was made in May of 2022, and that should have been received in April of 2022. In March of 2023, that same company made a timely payment of $38,300, and no payment was due or anticipated in May 2023, but the cause of the variance in the financials is important because of the timing. Intergovernmental receipts were lower by $109,100 when compared to the comparable period last year. The primary cause of this decrease is the village's portion of state income tax. If you look at the income tax over the last 10-year period, that shows that the income tax receipts have actually decreased from $427,700 to $324,100, or by $103,000 between fiscal year 23 and 24. So that the trend on that is downward. Permit receipts for May 2022 included fees of $41,500 for 3 significant projects, you recall. Plaza Street Partnership LLC, which was Andy's Custard, Tranquility Builders, and Plymouth Place. And while currently this account is below budget at this point after 1 month, it's anticipated as reflected in the increased budget for this account over the upcoming year. That permits will be requested and issued for additional phases of the above projects during fiscal year 2024. Charges for services were lower than May 2022 by $69,500. And this variance is again the result of timing of a payment, as no payment was received in May of 2023 for the village's ambulance provider, while a $67,300 payment was received in fiscal year 2022. Overall, the total general fund expenses for May, excluding the transfer to the capital projects fund, were $589,300, or 5.8% of the annual budget, and $28,000 greater than in fiscal year 2023. Total revenues, despite the above noted negative variances, were $72,000 greater than expenses, and most importantly, all departments are operating within budget expectations. A couple comments I'd like to make in summarizing this report. On the surface, it may appear that, into the new fiscal year, there's some areas that didn't quite hit the way we thought it should. I met with our interim finance director, Dan Wiersma, and staff, and Julia, regarding this, just to make sure that we understood what was going on with this. And it is certainly at the end of May, it's a point in time shot at where the finances start. And already since the end of May, we have started seeing some of those revenues that we thought would be coming. They're starting to come in. One example is the ambulance billing revenue is up now, and revenue like that is coming in after that report, and we're starting to close the gap already. So it was 1 year into the financial year, or the fiscal year. On the surface, it looked like things are not hitting the timing that we think it should, but I'm comfortable after meeting with our interim finance director and Julia that things will right itself soon, and we'll take another closer look in the second year of the fiscal year, and I'm comfortable that things will right itself. But right out of the chute, it caused enough eyes to be raised to have some discussion and make sure that things are moving forward in the proper direction. So I'm comfortable that things will start making the appropriate turn very, very soon, starting the second month. In fact, they already have. And I want to express appreciation to our interim finance director, Mr. Wiersma, and of course, always staff and Julia for paying close attention to this and making sure that things are being operated with fiduciary responsibility. Thank you, Mr. President. That's a report for this evening.
Thank you, Trustee Lautner. Okay, moving on to other reports, the village clerk.
I have no report this evening, Mr. President.
Commercial Revitalization Committee, Trustee Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. President. Level Up, Cafe Level Up and Lounge ribbon cutting. The Village of Grange Park and the Grange Park Chamber of Commerce celebrated the grand reopening of Level Up and Lounge on Friday, June 2nd. The event featured retro games, a new drink menu, and special guest Leah Montelongo from Mortal Kombat 3. The rebranded business located at the Plaza 31 Shopping Center is available for birthday parties, team building, and private events. The next CRC committee meeting will take place on Tuesday, July 11th at 6 p.m. at Village Hall. Businesses and members of the public are invited to attend and provide input on how the village can best support new and existing business and enhance the commercial areas in LaGrange Park. Village staff will also provide updates on implementation of the Village Market Streetscape Improvement Plan and a redevelopment study plan for certain properties on the 31st Street, LaGrange Road Business Development District. And that concludes the CRC report this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Stewart. Our village engineer? Our village attorney?
No report.
Motion to approve committee and collectors reports as presented.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I just have a couple items. Again, I want to thank Baxter for being here and for all that he's done. I know you're proud of your family, and we're proud of you and all that you guys have done. You've been here 71 years in our community, and you're a staple. People come from all over to visit your store, and if they do, they have to go through LaGrange Park to get there. But we're just so blessed that you continue to provide the service that you do and be representative of our community. Thank you, Baxter. Aiden, I want to thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to see a young face here that's getting involved in politics, and please tell the representative that we're looking forward to breaking bread, and please join us when he does. And Hank, it's always a pleasure to have representation from our newspaper. You're spoiling us, Hank.
It's okay.
And last but not least, we had a great tree ceremony, Arbor Day ceremony on Friday. The weather was perfect. I don't know if I mentioned, I may have, I may didn't, but when I thought about it afterwards, Rick, you and your staff have done a phenomenal job with that event. It looked phenomenal. I know Don was happy, his whole family was happy. You have provided it to be an extraordinary event, and thank you and your staff and JJ for all that you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any public participation? Seeing that, new business? Any new business? Entertain a motion to move into executive session.
I'd like to make a motion to move into closed session for the purpose of discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body in accordance with 5 ILCS 120/2C1, not to return to regular session until the next regularly scheduled board meeting on July 11, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. in this room.
Second.
Motion is second. Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Launer?
Yes.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo? The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. We'll move into executive session.